This is Bridging Health Care, and I am your host, Bridget. Thank you for joining me on this channel. The main focus is helping us to become highly effective healthcare worker, bringing informative, educative solutions to our world. I am so happy you're here. Sit down, relax, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Bridget from Bridging Healthcare. How are you and how have you been? How is work? How is life? How is study? For those of us that are still working towards becoming a healthcare professional, how is everything? This is Bridging Healthcare, and on this channel we talk about healthcare profession as a body. We talk about courses you can take, how you can be highly effective and efficient as a healthcare professional. And if you are considering jumping into the healthcare profession, please, you are wasting time. Jump in immediately. The grass is green. The field is big. There is so much to do. And the field is waiting for you, and you have a place there. You definitely have a place in the healthcare profession. So I just wanted to thank you, and I want to thank you for those of you that have subscribed. And if you have not subscribed, I forgive you. Now is the best time. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell as well so that every time I post a video, you'll be the first to know. One thing you can be sure of is on this channel, value is dished out for free. Yes, and it's always in the internet, so you can always go back and watch and watch and watch again and, do good. If you've not seen my videos on interviews, on being professional, on doing your job, please just go right in and watch it and you'll be fine. All right. So today I want to talk about something really interesting, and that is communication with your clients. Communication with your clients. As a healthcare professional, communication is key in our work. Everything we do is communication, because if I want to define communication in a layman's language, communication is an exchange of information, that is giving and receiving of information via a preferred channel. A message is given via a preferred channel and response is gotten that is related to the message. So communication is incomplete without response. So I'm going to give you the 5 items that I can place inside communication. So communication, you have the message, which is the information you want to pass. Then you have the channel, which is how you are passing the information, right? And then you have the giver, which is you giving the information. And then you have the receiver, which is the person you are giving the information to, or the people, as the case may be. And then you have the response, which is a response, or like when you say something to someone, what the person gives back to you to show you that the person understood what you said and has been able to translate it. And haven't translated, this is their answer. So communication is big in health and social care. And if you are a healthcare professional and you don't have very good communication skills, there is a big gap there. So gap can be found in different places. For instance, the person you are going to communicate with, your client, is not English speaking, and you don't speak, say, Gujarati, for instance. So let's say they send Bridget to someone that speaks only Gujarati, and I speak English. That job is already messed up. Why? Because the communication is a challenge. And so communication can be verbal and non-verbal, which gives us a wider gap. So you can communicate with your voice, speaking just like I'm doing. You can communicate with gesticulation, with body language, with silence. You can communicate with your eyes. You can communicate with brailles. You can communicate with pictures. You can communicate with so many things. So communication is vast. So we should not even just limit communication to only speaking, because they are non-speaking people and they communicate. There is sign language, which you can also use to communicate. There is gestures, there is pictures, there is brailles, which is touch, senses, which you can also use to communicate. So as a healthcare professional, you need very good communication skills. You need very solid communication skills to be highly effective at what you do. Of what use is going to do a job without conversing with your clients? Let me just give you a short scenario. You are going to see a client, and your duty with that client is social inclusion. So the client lives alone, maybe their children are very far from them, and they're bored and they're just alone in the house, and so they don't get fatigued and get frustrated with being alone. You are saddled with the responsibility of going to spend 2 to 3 hours with them, and you cannot communicate right. There are some people that you get to their house, you can speak the same language, but they're not communicating because there's a gap. So there are different ways that you can have a gap, and those are some of the things we're going to be discussing. So as a healthcare professional, it's very important that passion drives you. You must be able to find something to talk about, depending on which part of the world you are. There are different things that are communication jumpers, in some parts of the world. But the most common one is the weather, So one of the most easiest way to start communicating is, oh, the weather is beautiful today. So that person might respond, oh, what's going on about outside? And then you can say it's raining, the sun is heavy, it's snowing, oh, the day is beautiful, and then you can start a conversation from there. So today I'm not really discussing the message, I'm discussing what jumps you, why you should always have something prepared to jump you. And the first rule of the game is know where you are going. You already have a rota or a plan. So you know the client you are going to. If you have seen the name, you should be able to know where the person comes from. If you don't know, you can always ask your team in the office, who is your coordination team, as the case may be. Okay, this client I'm seeing, they're from where? Can you tell me a little bit about them? Or you can even read about them in their case notes. Now, once you have done that, you have an idea of what the person is. And that is why you cannot do healthcare without a person-centered approach, because communication brings in it takes in from person-centered approach. So if you're coming to see Bridget, say for instance, and Bridget is a seamstress or used to be a seamstress, it will be more interesting to talk about fashion, because Bridget used to be into clothes, into making beautiful designs. So it will be easier to jump on information about fashion. You see, let me tell you one of the things I do. I have this client that I know that she loves perfumes. Oh my God. She is a perfume freak. If you get into her house, she's got all kinds of shampoo, different flavors, different fragrances, and her sight is not very good, so she doesn't see me. So that's why my communication has to be key. Anytime I'm going to her house, trust me, I pick the best of the perfumes on my table, and I'm very generous with it. And you know what? It's a conversation starter. Every time I come in there, she's like, oh, you smell nice. Oh, what's that? And from there, we start talking. Where did you get it from? What brand is it? And before you know it, we are already gisting. So you can always create that. That is why, as a healthcare professional, you must be thinking out of the box. You must be thinking different things. If you know that the person is colorful, so don't just go as usual. Do something a little bit different. No, you have uniforms, fine. You are wearing your uniform, but just try and do something different. Like sometimes I just do my hair in a little bit different. Oh, you made your hair. I like the color. And a conversation has started. A lot of people have difficulties, jumping into conversation because they do not know this client. So they don't know where to start from, and they don't know what conversations to have that would not get set the footing wrong. It's okay. That's why it's good to study, know who your client is. So that's the first thing. If you are really going to use a person-centered approach, you must understand who that person is. So even if you did not read about the person and you got into the house, and the first thing you notice is they don't wear slippers into the house is all clean, white, you can start with, wow, you've got a really beautiful house and so neat. It's also a good conversation starter. And then you can hear, I've lived in this house 30 years. I've lived in this house 70 years. Oh, blimey, you've lived in this house that long and you maintained it like this? Look for a way to compliment the person. And who doesn't like a little compliment? And conversation can just jump immediately. So that is another way to jumpstart a conversation. Now, let's assume that maybe weather is not working, maybe there's nothing to talk about in the environment. Always spot something. Where someone lives as a way of describing the person. So there are some people, once you get into their house, you will see pictures of cats. That means the person probably has a cat. Most people that have pets, they enjoy talking about their pets. So if they do enjoy talking about their pets, oh, come on, ask question about the pet. Oh, what type of pet is this? Oh, wow, she's so gentle. Did you train her well? Oh, you really did raise this one. And from there, conversation will start. And once you talk, you don't keep talking. A lot of people, because they are panicking or they don't know when to stop or they don't know, they keep talking and they don't allow the person to talk. Now, you are there to encourage the person to be included. You are there to bring social into the person. It's called social inclusion. So if you are there to socialize with the person, that means that the person also has to communicate. And communication is not complete if it is one way. So you are having a conversation about something and you're talking about yourself. Let them talk about themselves. Sometimes I just like to minimize my own. How did your day go? Oh, really? I always like that as well. Oh, wow, really? Interesting. And then you get the person to keep talking. And before you know it, laugh. Have a laugh. So the client I worked with, just before this video, it was a Mother's Day celebration. And I was thinking, okay, where do I start conversations today? And so on my way, I just got a very cheap Mother's Day card. And I made sure that I wrote something about the person, that I feel is very nice about the person. And once I brought him the card, it had rainbow color. And that card was a conversation starter. Oh my God, we didn't stop talking. And it reminded the person of so many things and all the Mother's Day that the person has, experienced. And from there, I started reading all the cards she had. And time was rolling. I was having a good time. My client was having a good time. Job was done properly. That's why as a healthcare professional, your job doesn't just start and end with, okay, I've gone and I've emptied the commode, I've administered medication or I've prompted medication, I've assisted with a strip wash, I've taken for appointments. No, you must be a good communicator. You must be able to bring the person's alive. The person must be able to say, there's something I put on my status. If when you are not there, your absence is not felt, then your presence is useless. So any other person can do what you do, but what makes you different is the flavor and the uniqueness that you bring into your job. That is what is called exceptional, and that communication makes you exceptional. So build your communication skills. Be confident. Don't panic. They're not going to bite. They're waiting for you. The person is waiting for you. The person is eagerly expecting you. And if it is someone that's your regular, you must be able to come up with different topics, different things to talk about. And don't forget, let them talk. And when they talk, have your own comment like, wow, fantastic. Oh, I've learned a lot from my clients. Many of the things I know now, I learned from my clients. They are so intelligent people. So maybe because of their health challenge, they're not able to really socialize. But when you really start digging and having conversations with them, you find out that these people are some of the smartest people in the world. And if you take your time to listen, oh my goodness, you will learn quite a lot. So in, communicating, in becoming effective as a healthcare professional, communication is big. Communication is big. And I will not also, well, I also have to talk about active listening. Is something I'm going to talk about in a separate video. But in the course of communication, you must bring in all these tools. Active listening, some humor. Laugh. I mean, you just have to have a laugh. Why would you just be uptight? Have a laugh. Have a conversation about something funny. And let it be that they are driving the conversation. You might be feeding the conversation, but let them drive the conversation. That is what is called social inclusion. Conversation are big. They help people. They help you as a healthcare professional to relax in the job. They also make you to understand. It gives you like a feedback. How is this person doing? So somebody that is chatty, that every time you come, and then today you get there, and then the person is a bit not too talking. You should be able to know that something is wrong. So it also helps you to find out a trigger, like what's going on in this person's life. Is something wrong? So guys, conversation is big. As a healthcare professional, you must be a good communicator. So go and build your communication skills. Read books, watch movies, go on YouTube, watch this video over and over again. And you can always find things to talk about. You can even go online and say, what are things that I can discuss with a 90-year-old, for instance? So there are things that interest 90-year-old women. There are things that interest 90-year-old men. There are things that interest 70-year-old, based on their generation, and based on their experience and their environment. You just really need to discover. That's why you cannot just say, because I'm a healthcare professional, I know my job. You can't be redundant. You have to keep studying. You have to keep improving yourself. You have to keep learning. You have to keep trying out new things. That is what makes you exceptional, guys. I'm so passionate about this topic because you know what? One of my biggest strengths is communication. And if I can't communicate, there's a problem. There are some people, even when I get to a place where maybe the person is not able to talk, if the person can hear, sometimes I talk, sometimes I sing. You can imagine. Sometimes I paint. You can just bring up colors and color. I'm doing my master's in dementia, and it's so interesting what I have discovered over the time I've been studying, and I've been meeting people, and I've been having experiences, and I've been, meeting a lot of clients who are living with this condition. And I found out that, it is not what they paint it to be, because I've opened up myself, to different opportunities to have conversation with people. And you find out that, you have a lot to learn. I hope this video has been really useful to you. Communication is big, guys. Don't forget, communication is a means of exchange of information, so message information between a giver and a receiver via an appropriate channel or an agreed channel, which will also in turn bring a response. So that is communication. And if that definition is not completely defined, communication has not happened. I hope that with this short video, you are going to go out there and win and communicate and make your clients excited. Let them jiggle anytime you come in. Let them know who you are, whether you have spoken or not, whether you have said something before they hear your voice. Let them know that energy has come into the house. Because you know what? You might just be that only person that they see day in, day out. So make the best of it for them. Thank you so much for always coming back to this channel. This is Bridget from Bridging Healthcare, and I want to say I love you guys, and I will always come back again and again. So don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. Bye.